Hey guys, and welcome back. I feel like my brows look really ridiculous like this. Like, I much prefer using a pencil and having them look, what's the word? Like, normal? Okay, not necessarily normal, but more natural. I just prefer a natural brow, that's me. And, doesn't photograph very well. So when I take pictures for you guys, it ends up looking like I barely filled my brow in at all. But I did notice, 'cause I took one, I don't know, the other day, I guess. They look great in pictures filled in with a pomade, and even though I feel like they look ridiculous on camera, I'm trying them out for the next couple of videos, see how I like them. Definitely not an everyday look for me though. I'm really excited to bring you today's video though because it finally came in the mail, and I want to do a look today featuring the new e.l.f. palette. It's called Opposites Attract. Look at this packaging, y'all. I mean, just look at it. I believe this came out on the 5th on their website, September 5th, and it is like, it's just a new look for them. I haven't seen anything of theirs that looks like this. And I've tried other e.l.f. palettes in the past, like, what is it, Mad for Mattes or Mauves or something like that. And I haven't been really impressed with them, but I don't hate them either. They just end up being a palette that I have sitting here that I don't really reach for. But this one, something just struck me about this one. I think because, I don't know about you guys, but to me personally, this looks a lot like the setup of like a Makeup Revolution palette. And I am in love with like every Makeup Revolution palette that they put out. I don't know what it is, but it's just the way that it's presented. And I think that's why I just really fell for this one. So there are, I think, what is it? 18 shades? Yeah, there's 18 shades. This retails for $14 online, which really isn't bad. I think those little ones that they had before, like the little rectangular ones, I think those were 10. So 14 for this is really, I feel like that's a pretty good deal. And if you look on their website, it says that there are 9 warm shades and 9 cool shades. So that's kind of cool. I really appreciate that they tried at least to put both warm and cool in the palette evenly. Now of these 18 shades, only a third of them, or 6, are shimmers. I did actually swatch all of these for you guys, so I'll insert some of the swatches here, but I did them in batches. So I did a warm batch and I did a cool batch. If you look at the palette like this, if you cover up this whole side, this is your warm tone palette. Oh yeah, it'd be helpful if I actually turned towards the camera, huh? Alright, so these are your warm tone shades here, and if you look at it, I mean, this could be like a Huda Beauty little 9-pan palette because the shades just, they all look like they work so well together. I really liked how they swatched. I thought that the mattes were just slightly patchy, but I was also swatching with the hand that I don't normally do them with, so it also could just be user error. But the shimmers showed up so beautifully, so far so good with the warm shades. Now, let's turn the palette around, and if you cover up this half, these right here, these are your cool tone shades. And this is, I think, where they kind of get me, because together, visually, like with the warms, you're like, oh man, that is cool, those are different, you know, this is a really interesting palette. And you go, so we're going to cover up the warm shades again here, and I don't know. I think I just got confused because, you know, when I was trying to think of looks I wanted to do with this, just none of these felt like they really played together really well, and I don't know. But I will say, I think the cool tone side swatched way nicer than the warm tone side. All of the shades, mattes, and shimmers all swatched so beautifully, and especially the very first one, the shade closest to my wrist, it's called Low Key. That one I think is the most beautiful shade in the entire palette. If you can tell, just like in my last video, I did not set my lids yet. Well, I didn't do anything to my lids yet, and that's because what I did in my last video was I worked with a fresh base. I didn't set it, it's still wet. And that's how I really got the dark matte shades to pop. So that's what I also want to do with this palette. And just like last time, I'm gonna do one eye at a time, because if I wait too long to do the other eye, everything will set down and that's not what I want. So I'm gonna take that same Makeup Revolution concealer, and we're gonna start with this eye. We're just gonna plop it on, and with my brush, I am just gonna spread this out, just even it out, but we're not gonna set it down with a powder. So that concealer is down, it is not set, it is still wet, and the first shade that I want to use, hopefully this works, I want to go into the darkest shade here in this palette. This is called J.One. And I'm going to start patting this all over the lid, but I'm going to leave a little gap here, just like the bottom middle, because we're going to do something kind of fun and a little special there. But for now, we're just going to leave that open and start patting this all over the lid. And I'm going to try, I'm not good at this, but to keep this going at an angle here so we can blend at an angle. Next, we want to blend out this shade a little bit. It is quite harsh. So this is where the purple comes in. This is the matte purple right here. We're going to use this one. This is called Easy Going. Me personally, I like to work with colors a little at a time and then build them up the way I want it rather than go gung-ho, and I tend to mess stuff up that way, basically. So I have just an itty bitty little bit of purple on this little fluffy brush. And what I want to do, I have a brush hair in my face. Why didn't y'all tell me? Anyway, what I want to do with this is blend in the same direction that I set all that down. So blend up and out here with the purple. Because your base is wet, this might take a while, but that's okay. As long as you have a little patience, should be fine. It really wasn't my intention to go like full blown out smoky with this, but you know what? That's what we're doing now. This is a purple smoky eye. But I took the purple, blended out the gray with it, and these two blended together, especially so well. Like the look that I did before this with the fall harvest kind of gradient, that took a lot of effort to blend and to get it to look like that, but this took no effort at all. For the middle of the lid, I'm just going to take my finger and I'm going to run it in the other purple shade, which is a shimmer. It is this one right here. It's called Chill, and we're just going to pop this right in that empty spot that we left. Okay, there we go. I must not have really run my finger in it. And I'm going to start patting this kind of all around to spread it and feather it out. We don't want it to look too harsh. I really just want it to look like purple blending into gray, blending into purple. Alright, so as you probably noticed, I finished off the other eye and I did my face makeup. So now we're going to finish off the eyes, and the first thing I want to do is, I didn't really like how you can still see my lash line through all this, and I really want it to be, like, it's a dark, like I was saying, it's a dark look. I really don't want the lash line peeking through. So I'm going to take a black liner. This is my Smashbox Always On Gel liner. It's in the shade Fishnet, but any black liner that you like will do great. And I'm going to line both the bottom, or the lower, and the upper waterline with this pencil. Okay, so this looks a lot better, but I think this is about as dark as I want to go. So instead of doing the same colors on the lower lash line that we did on the lid, I think all I want to do is run that matte purple shade on the lower lash line just to kind of tie all the colors together. So we are going to dip back into the shade called Easy Going and smudge this out on the lower lash line. Okay, so now let's go ahead and finish off this look by using my favorite shade in this whole palette, which is this one called Low Key. We are going to pop this on the brow bone. Oh, look how pretty that is. This shade alone is worth the $14. Oh, look at how beautiful that is. Alright, y'all, and this is the finished look. I decided, I know you saw it earlier, but I thought I would just elaborate on it. I used a warmer toned lip gloss because this whole palette is called Opposites Attract, and it's got an equal number of warm and cool shades. So I thought I would use a warmer gloss, kind of bring it all together with the palette. And speaking of which, what do we think? Honestly, I love it. This is absolutely worth the $14. When I swatched this, the shadows were really creamy, buttery, they felt soft, and I thought they swatched pretty well, minus, trying to learn how to swatch with my left hand is kind of difficult. But I was using the Violet Voss Flamingo palette on my last video, and I really like that palette. I think all the shades are wonderful. They're super pigmented, but they did not blend anywhere near as well as these blended, and this took so much less time to deal with than that palette did. I think that's the biggest plus for me, is that these were just so easy to blend. They took very little effort. This is an amazing beginner palette. If you're just starting out, you really like makeup, you want to learn how to get a really good blend, then this one is a great one to start with because the formula really does all the blending for you. I do still think that I mean, the name is Opposites Attract. I get it. But it's just so disjointed to me. Again, here's the warm tones. Look pretty. Like, this could be its own 9-pan palette. It looks awesome. But then you flip it over and you look at the cool tones, it's just, I don't know. I feel like they could have done without this green one, like this weird teal, and gone with something else that kind of tied the rest of them together, because otherwise I feel like it's fairly cohesive minus this little dude right here. Let me know what you guys think about this palette. If you've tried it, do you like it? Do you really not like it? Let me know down in the comments below. And like always, if you guys do like these videos, don't forget to give them a big thumbs up. And remember to hit that subscribe button either down below or right up here in the corner before y'all leave. I hope you guys are having an awesome weekend. Please stay safe if you are in the path of Hurricane Florence. We went through the same thing almost this time last year with Harvey, and it was awful. Please stay safe. My thoughts and my prayers are with you guys, and I will catch you all in my next video. Bye, y'all.